Hello YouTubers out in YouTube land. This will be my quick review of the Royal Rumble 2012 since I did not watch it, and my more in-depth review of Chikara's The 13th hat, which I attended live. Unfortunately not on pay-per-view, but that I attended live in Easton, PA on Saturday. First, let's get to the Royal Rumble 2012. As I said, did not watch it, so this is just a quick review of the results. Unfortunately, can't give it a rating as I would like, but from what I've heard from some of my favorite reviewers here on YouTube, being True Slayer, D. Mark Pearson, and Trademark 629, pretty much an a little bit above average pay-per-view, but nothing too special to check out. Anyway, first match on the card, it is the Triple Threat World Heavyweight Title Steel Cage match. Daniel Bryan defends against Big Show and Mark Henry. My pick was Daniel Bryan in this match. A little bit surprised that Mark Henry participated, seeing as how he was injured, but then again, I think Mark Henry could tough it out. Anyway, ending comes when Show has Daniel Bryan, tries to lift him up back over the cage. However, Show loses his grip and Daniel Bryan touches the floor, retaining his title. So right now, 1-0. Next match was a quote-unquote bonus match, although I don't think it was Beth Phoenix and Natalya and the Bella Twins in an 8-diva tag match facing off against Kelly, Eve, Alicia Fox, and Tamina. What can you say? Typical Divas tag match. Um, Ending comes when Kelly gets hit with the Glam Slam. Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and the Bella Twins win. Since this was obviously a bonus match, couldn't make a prediction here, nor would I have given a damn. Next, we have John Cena versus Kane. In this match, I didn't pick a winner. I said it would end up in a double countout or double DQ, and alas, I was right. As both men brawl on the rampway, like I said, double countout. This leads to a backstage brawl where Kane just basically beats the holy hell out of John Cena with a steel chair. And Zack Ryder, who appeared earlier in the night in a wheelchair in a little segment with Eve and John Laurinaitis. Eventually, Kane sees his locker room, attacks Ryder, takes him out to the ringside area, and gives him a tombstone in front of Eve. Very good, very good. Wish Eve would stop acting, but that's a whole different story for another time. Cena tries to come back out and save Zack Ryder. However, Super Cena is not in effect this night, and he gets chokeslammed by Kane, who leaves his trail of destruction. Next, another bonus match. We get Drew McIntyre versus Brodus Clay. Now, as much as I like both Drew McIntyre and the new Brodus Clay character, WWE, this is not the 1980s. This is not WrestleMania 1. We don't need a squash match like this on a pay-per-view. Obviously, since I say a squash match, you know who's going to win. Drew McIntyre loses to Brodus Clay as he hits the Want the Funk and beats him. Next, by the way, 2-0 with my picks right now. Next, we have Dolph Ziggler facing off against CM Punk for the WWE Championship with John Laurinaitis as the special guest referee. As I said in my predictions video, I previously would have picked Dolph Ziggler with the whole John Laurinaitis screwing over CM Punk. However, due to the most recent storylines, I believe Punk would retain the title, and that's what happened, as Punk hit Dolph Ziggler after a real good match, as I've been told. Probably will check that out. I'm pretty sure it'll be on the best 2012 pay-per-views. However, I don't think I'm going to wait that long, so I'll probably either look it up on a torrent or YouTube. Sorry, WWE. I wasn't going to pay $55 after I just saw a kick-ass Chikara show. But, as I was saying, I digress. CM Punk hit Dolph Ziggler with the GTS, and as the one ref was counting, Laurinaitis came in and counted along with him, sort of to show, there we go, that he's turning over a new leaf, so to speak. Next, we get the Royal Rumble match. I'm just gonna run down the who entered and then go over, yeah. First, we have The Miz at number 1, then Alex Riley, R-Truth, Cody Rhodes, Justin Gabriel, Primo, Mick Foley, Ricardo Rodriguez, who I did see a clip of his entrance at the Royal Rumble. May I just say, WWE, this should show you that Ricardo Rodriguez is over with the fans, and the fans love him. Like I said in a previous video, can't wait for Ricardo Rodriguez and the Alberto Del Rio feud. Ricardo Rodriguez, if you haven't seen any of his stuff from FCW, check it out. He is a pretty good wrestler. Some would say better than Del Rio. Not quite sure about that, but yet he is very talented. Next is Santino Marella, who had a brief, funny segment with Mick Foley during the match as they did the Battle of the Socks, obviously. Socko versus Cobra. Socko's going to win all the time. I don't care how cool the Cobra sock is. Socko is the original. Then, number 10, Epico, followed by Kofi Kingston. Interesting fact here, all 3 announcers, as Jerry Lawler, Booker T, and even Michael Cole, participated in the Rumble. First one was Jerry Lawler. However, none of the announcers really lasted long. The only reason Cole lasted as long is because of all the wrestlers preoccupied in the ring. Number 13 was Ezekiel Jackson, then Jinder Mahal. Great Khali making his return to the WWE. Oh God, no. Please don't tell me he's back full time, please. He is an impressive big man. However, I would say his wrestling skills don't even get a 0. I'm pretty sure they're in the negative scales, in my opinion. Then we have Hunico, followed by Booker T, Dolph Ziggler, Jim Duggan, who won the first ever Royal Rumble. Very interesting to see him back. Although, at Chikara, everyone was pretty much talking about how he was going to be back. After that, Michael Cole. And then 21, in my opinion, the big surprise. Well, one of the big surprises of this Royal Rumble. Karma returned from maternity leave, and she waged a path of destruction against Dolph Ziggler. And I believe she eliminated Booker T too? No. That's gotta be wrong. But I know Karma did eliminate maybe 1 or 2 people before being eliminated herself. But anyway, next we have Sheamus entered at number 22, and then, oh, you didn't know? The Road Dogg at number 23. Very nice to see him back. He can teach a few of the guys how to cut promos. Next was Jey Uso, Jack Swagger, Wade Barrett, David Otunga. Randy Orton coming out to a monstrous pop, obviously, since it was in his hometown. At number 29, Chris Jericho, coming to break the walls down. And then number 30, The Big Show. Sort of a big disappointment, in my view. Anyway, Final 4 ended up being Sheamus, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and Big Show. First Big Show got eliminated, then Randy Orton. Came down to Sheamus and Chris Jericho, so sort of happy there that one of my picks has lasted to the end. However, Sheamus was able to overcome the experience of Chris Jericho and eliminate him. Unfortunately, that would be my one pick of the night that would not win, so I went 3-1 overall. However, I am happy to see Sheamus win, and hopefully, he won't go to Raw or jump over to Raw and challenge the WWE Championship. Hopefully, him and Daniel Bryan finally get their match on WrestleMania. As many of you know, they were scheduled to have a match at WrestleMania last year. However, that got bumped off the card. But anyway, onto the coup de grace, Chikara, the 13th hat that occurred on Saturday. the 28th of January, the season 11 premiere of Chikara. First off, the funny thing, I happened to go with my uncle to that show, and literally the second after we bought our tickets and walked in, we got to record a segment for the Throwdown Lowdown. So hopefully that will be on you. Hopefully I'll be one of the ones on YouTube. That would be pretty cool. I'll have to post that clip then, or post a link to it if it does ever show up. Hopefully. But anyway, your first match of the night, what surprisingly, I thought for sure this would be the main event, was Green Ant versus Mike Quackenbush in an outstanding old school wrestling match. And when I say old school, I mean old school. Chain wrestling and submissions. That's what it was. At first, didn't know what to think of it. However, I am a fan of the old school chain wrestling / submissions, and this match was amazing. And the crowd was even into it too, which surprised me a little bit, but it's Chikara. It's not CZW, so the fans wouldn't shit on it. Anyway, Green Ant, he was my pick, and he won with his version of the Chikara special. Very good match, as I said, 3.5 stars. Very great opener. Next, my notes are on my cell phone. Didn't get to write them down. Anyway, next, sup nerds, as Mr. Touchdown makes his debut for Chikara, and he's introed by Dasher Hatfield as a new member of the Throwbacks. He's going to throw in a little dichotomy to it, though, because Mr. Touchdown definitely playing the heel of the group. By the way, got my picture taken with him, with Mr. Touchdown and Dasher Hatfield at intermission. That should be up on the Chikara site sometime this week. I'll definitely be posting that pic when I get the chance. Next, we have, come on. Next was Jigsaw versus Cobalt in a very good match. Very good for these two. My pick was Cobalt. Unfortunately, did not win as Jigsaw took his head off with a super kick. 2 3/4 stars. As I said, very good match. A little bit above average and a great performance by both men. Next, in what my opinion was the disappointment of the night, unfortunately, Akuma took on Icarus. Now, Akuma is definitely looking in a lot better shape. However, the match was pretty average, but then again, this feud is not over because of the finish. Match was pretty average, and unfortunately was overshadowed by the horrible ending, which led to the ending was basically Icarus getting out of the ring, grabbing a steel chair to hold Akuma off as a 20 count commenced. Greg Iron came out, looked like he was going to throw Icarus or distract Icarus long enough to get back in the ring. However, that unfortunately did not happen. And then Greg Iron, well, not mysteriously, but unfortunately, it looks like he might be turning heel as he slapped Akuma. Sort of see it as retribution, though, since Akuma did almost take Iron's head off at high noon. By the way, 2 reviews to be looking forward to soon, of course, as I was... Chikara, High Noon, got that DVD. And of course, the one I personally am looking forward to, the best of Ultramantis Black. Strange Ways, here we come. Already watched the interview, and the interview is just outstanding. So I just gotta watch the matches, and then hopefully that review will be up in a few days. And then after that, by the way, the Akuma match, I picked Icarus to cheat. Sort of did, but unfortunately it was a double countout, so no winner there. So right now I'm 1-2 in my Chikara picks. I thought I'd do better with Chikara than I did in WWE. Next, after that, things pick up definitely more as 3.0 takes on Jacob Hammermeyer and Tim Donst. Jacob and Donst, pretty much, they're doing a thing now where Tim Donst is starting to get frustrated with Jacob. Looks like those two might enter a feud by maybe Anniversario time. 3.0 get the win here. Very entertaining tag match. 2.5 stars. Average, but yet still good nonetheless. Pretty entertaining. By the way, my pick was 3.0, so 2 and 2. I'm at 500 now. Next, after that was intermission. Then the first match out of intermission, Hollowicked defeated Archibald Peck via a reversal of the victory roll. The whole storyline in this match, yes, this was the first time ever these two met. However, the not really bigger storyline